Good day, magandang araw, mayong adlaw, madayaw na adlaw to all of you out there. Welcome to my vlog. By the way, my name is Vincent Lloyd Bayakag. I currently studied at Davao Oriental State University. For today's video, I will share my thoughts, ideas, understanding, and reflection about 5 topics of Jose Rizal's life. First topic is biographical sketches of Jose Rizal. Second is pragmatic education. Third is travel frustration and disappointment. Fourth is an exile life. And last is justice and death of Jose Rizal. In biographical sketches of Jose Rizal, let's focus on homeschooling, grammar schooling, Jesuit education, Dominican education, and Peninsular Spanish education of Jose Rizal. In homeschooling, Jose Rizal was primarily educated at home by his mother, Teodora Alonso, and his older brother, Pasiano. Rizal's early education was heavily influenced by his mother, who was a well-educated woman and served as his first teacher. She taught him how to read and write and instilled him in a love of learning. At the age of 3, Rizal began his formal education with a tutor named Leon Monroy, who taught him the basics of reading, writing, and arithmetic. Later, he studied under the tutelage of Osniano Aquino Cruz, a local school teacher who taught him Spanish, Latin, and Greek. Rizal's homeschooling was instrumental in shaping his early education and influencing his later academic pursuit. It also played a significant role in the development of his nationalist and anti-colonialist views, which would eventually lead to his involvement in the Philippine Revolution. In grammar schooling of Jose Rizal, he was sent to a private school in Abinian, Laguna, when he was 9 years old, where he studied under Josiano Aquino Cruz, a strict and demanding teacher. Rizal excelled in his studies and was considered one of the best students in his class. After completing his studies in Binyan, Rizal went to Manila and enrolled at the Ateneo Municipal de Manila, a Jesuit-run school. There, he continued to excel in his studies, particularly in languages and literature. He also showed a talent for art and poetry. The Jesuits were known for their rigorous academic standards, and Rizal excelled in his studies, earning high marks in various subjects such as Latin, Greek, English, and Spanish. He also developed a deep appreciation for literature and the arts, which would later influence his writing. Rizal's Jesuit education played a significant role in shaping his worldview and values. He was exposed to the teachings of Catholicism, which instilled in him a strong sense of social justice and compassion for the poor and marginalized. He also learned critical thinking skills and a commitment to reason and empirical evidence, which would guide his intellectual pursuits and activism. In Dominican education, Jose Rizal received his early education in the Dominican-run Colegio de San Juan de Letran in Manila. He was only 11 years old when he was enrolled in the school, which was known for its strict discipline and rigorous academic standards. After completing his primary education at Letran, Rizal continued his studies at the Ateneo Municipal de Manila, which was also run by Dominicans. There, he pursued a degree in philosophy and later excelled in various subjects, including Spanish, Latin, Greek, and history. Rizal's education at the Ateneo was heavily influenced by the teachings of Dominicans who emphasized the importance of reason, logic, and morality. However, Rizal was also critical of some of the practices of the religious order, particularly their use of corporal punishment in disciplining students. Despite his reservation about some aspect of Dominican education, Rizal continued to vote the value of importance education throughout his life. In Peninsular Spanish education, Rizal traveled to Spain to continue his studies, where he enrolled in the Universidad Central de Madrid. He studied various subjects, including medicine, philosophy, literature, and history, and excelled in his studies, earning several awards and honors. Rizal was exposed to the liberal ideas and principles of the Enlightenment and became deeply interested in the issues of colonialism and nationalism. Rizal also studied at the Universidad Central de Barcelona, where he earned a degree in medicine. He was one of the top students in his class and was admired for his intelligence and dedication to his studies. During his time in Spain, Rizal also became fluent in several languages including Spanish, English, French, German, and Italian. Rizal's education in Spain was instrumental in shaping his political beliefs and intellectual outlook. He was exposed to new ideas and perspectives which he incorporated into his writings and speeches advocating for Philippine independence and social reform. Second topic is the pragmatic education of Jose Rizal. Rizal's education was pragmatic in the sense that it was focused on practical knowledge and skills that would be useful in his future career as a doctor and writer. His studies in languages, history, and literature helped him to develop a deep appreciation for his country's culture and history and inspired him to write works that would later become influential in the Philippine Revolution. Rizal also had a pragmatic approach to learning, as he believed in the importance of using knowledge to make positive impact on society. He once wrote, "Education without application is like a body without a soul." This belief is reflected in his advocacy for reforms in Philippine society, which he pursued through his writings and activism. In summary, Jose Rizal's pragmatic education provided him with the knowledge and skills he needed to become a successful doctor and writer. It also inspired him to become a champion for Philippine independence and social reform, which he pursued through his writing and activism. Next topic is about the travel frustration and disappointment of Jose Rizal. While he gained a lot of knowledge and experiences from his travels, he also encountered frustration and disappointment in some instances. One of his most significant travel frustration was when he was denied entry to Hong Kong in 1888. Rizal was on his way to Europe, but the British authorities in Hong Kong suspected him of being a subversive and detained him for 6 hours before eventually deporting him to Manila. This incident caused Rizal to miss his ship to Europe and delayed his journey by several weeks. Another instance of travel frustration for Rizal was when he was in Madrid in 1884. He planned to attend the Universal Exposition in Antwerp, Belgium, but he was unable to go due to a lack of funds. Rizal had to content himself with studying the exhibits at the Philippine Pavilion in Madrid, which only fueled his desire to see more of the world. Despite these setbacks, Rizal continued to travel and explore new places. However, his travels were not always a source of joy and adventure. He was often disappointed by the injustices and inequalities he saw in different countries, particularly in Europe. His observation of the mistreatment of minorities and the poor fueled his passion for social reform and inspired him to fight for the rights of his fellow Filipinos. In his writings, Rizal expressed his disappointment and frustration with the injustices he saw in the world, and he called for social change and equality. His experiences traveling helped shape his worldview and inspired him to become a champion of social justice and national hero of the Philippines. Fourth topic is an exile life. Jose Rizal spent a significant portion of his life in exile due to his political beliefs and activism against Spanish colonial rule in the Philippines in 1887. At the age of 26, Rizal was exiled to Dapitan, a small town in the island of Mindanao, after being implicated in the propaganda movement, a political movement that sought to peacefully reform the Spanish colonial government. During his 4-year exile in Dapitan, Rizal established a school for boys, taught science and mathematics, and engaged in various civic and social activities, including providing medical assistance to the townspeople and improving the town's water system. In 1892, Rizal was pardoned by the Spanish government and allowed to return to Manila. However, he was arrested and tried for sedition and rebellion in connection with the Philippine Revolution of 1896, which aimed to overthrow Spanish colonial rule in the Philippines. Rizal was sentenced to death by firing squad and executed on December 30, 1896 at the age of 35. Rizal's exile and eventual execution inspired the Philippine Revolution and the country's independence from Spain in 1898. Today, Rizal is revered as a national hero in the Philippines, and his works, including the novels No Limit Tangere and El Filibustrismo, continue to influence Filipino culture and society. And the last topic of this blog is about the justice and death of Jose Rizal. Rizal's involvement in the Philippines nationalist movement began in the late 1880s when he joined the propaganda movement, a group of Filipino intellectuals who sought political and social reforms in the Spanish colonial government. He used his writing skills to spread awareness about the need for change in the Philippines, and his novels No Limit Tangere and El Filibusterismo were particularly influential in this regard. However, Rizal nationalist activities eventually brought him into conflict with the Spanish authorities, who accused him of inciting rebellion. He was arrested in 1896 and after a trial, he was found guilty of sedition, conspiracy, and rebellion. On December 30, 1896, he was executed by a firing squad at Bagumbayan, now known as Rizal Park in Manila. Rizal's execution was a turning point in Philippine history and helped to galvanize the nationalist movement. His death became a symbol of the struggle for Philippine independence, and he is now considered a national hero in the Philippines. Rizal's legacy continues to inspire Filipinos to this day, and his work remains an important part of Philippine literature and history. And that's all. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.